guys, and welcome to Rome, the Eternal City. From ancient ruins to world-famous food, Rome's a city that truly has it all. This year is an extra special year to visit Rome because 2025 marks the Jubilee year, which is a major event in the Catholic Church that only happens once every 25 years. Millions of pilgrims will be visiting Rome for special celebrations, blessings, and to walk through the holy doors of the city's 4 major basilicas. So if you're planning on coming to Rome, expect big crowds. Luckily, we're here in February, and so far it hasn't been too crowded. I'm here for 3 days, but we have a lot on our itinerary, so let's go. Good morning, everyone. We're up bright and early for our first stop of the day, which is the Trevi Fountain. We originally got here around 7:30, but we stopped for breakfast first, and there actually wasn't that many people here. It's a Friday, and it's also only February, so that could account for why it's not busy at all. So legend has it that if you throw a coin over your left shoulder into the fountain, you're guaranteed to return to Rome one day, but we can't throw a coin in right now, but maybe we can do it tomorrow. Over 3,000 euros are collected from the Trevi Fountain every day, but if you plan on getting close enough to throw a coin in, make sure you go at the right time because the rules have changed in 2025. Now you can only access the fountain from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., but on Mondays and Fridays it actually doesn't open until noon. Of course, you can still see the fountain like we did, but you just won't be able to go to the basin of it. Right around the corner from the Trevi Fountain is this cute little cafe that we just ate at, but we actually got our food inside and then sat outside, and we just got kind of yelled at. Apparently, if you want to sit outside, you have to tell them you want to sit outside, and then you get waited on. But we were sitting there for like 30 minutes, and the waiter never came to our table, so I guess that's on them. But the food was super good and really cheap. Before we get to all of the sightseeing, let's talk about where we're staying here in Rome. Because we're here in February, it's a lot cheaper, and we're also not staying right next to all of the touristy destinations. We're a little bit south. It works out perfectly for us though, because it only costs $1.50 to take the train. We pretty much take the train to the city, stay there all day, and then come back at night. So it's really no issue that we're not close to all of the touristy things. Right now we're staying at an Airbnb that's costing us 55 euros a night, which is super affordable compared to the prices during the summer. We're also only renting a room within an Airbnb. So what that means is there's 3 other people staying here. We just all have our own room and then a shared kitchen and living room space. I'll put a link in the description to the same exact Airbnb that we're staying at if you come to Rome and you want to stay here too. Now for the real reason that you come to Rome, the Colosseum. We booked our tickets directly on the official Colosseum website. Definitely the way to go to avoid third-party markups, but we decided to skip the guided tour and just do a self-guided visit instead, and honestly, it's been working out. We're not a fan of waiting in big groups of people, and that's like the epitome of a tour group. I'm sure that they have a lot of really good information, but just not for us. Even though we skipped the guided tour, we made sure to do our research before coming. There's a ton of great information out there on the Roman Empire, like this video from Rick Steves. Our tickets also included access to the Roman Forum, which is just a 3-minute walk from the Colosseum. It is a must visit. Walking through the Forum was just as cool as seeing the Colosseum. So right behind us is the body and the tomb of Julius Caesar. So when they killed Julius Caesar, they left his body in the theater, and when the public found out that he was assassinated, everybody was so mad, so they grabbed his body, brought it back here to the Roman Forum, and they cremated him in public. The tomb that we just saw, people are leaving coins and flowers. But yeah, really cool to see something so historical. Right, Zach?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Today is extra special because we are doing a food tour, and I've been looking forward to it since I booked the tickets. We booked this tour on Get Your Guide, and I'll link it down in the description below if you want to try it for yourself. So our food tour is in the neighborhood of Trastevere. I hope I'm saying that right. But what that translates to is across the river. The whole idea of living in this neighborhood is that everything that you need is across the river, so there's really no reason to go over to Rome. But the restaurants that we've gone to so far are so good. The first place that we went was a place called Cabulo, and we had a panini with pork. It was so good. They make everything fresh from the restaurant. They make the bun that they put the pork on. They butcher the pork themselves, caramelize the onions. The paste that's on the sandwich is a mixture of carrots and another vegetable that I can't remember, but it was so, so good. And then we just had, what was the thing called? A spila? Or spula? Spula? Whatever it was delicious, and it's a classic Roman food. Now we are on our way to try Roman pizza. And next up is the Pantheon, which is one of the best preserved ancient buildings in Rome. Construction began here in 27 BC and it took 150 years to complete. That means that the building is over 2,000 years old. The pillars that are right behind me were actually brought all the way from Egypt, and it's one of the first buildings to use poured concrete for its roof. Another interesting fact about the Pantheon is Queen Margherita is actually buried in there, and if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because that is what Margherita pizza is named after. So pizza was originally a dish for the poor, and it wasn't common among royals, but when Queen Margherita visited Naples, they made a special pizza because they were excited that she was going to come, and they made it according to the colors of the Italian flag. So mozzarella for white, tomato for red, and basil for green. And she loved it so much that she asked them to name it after her. So that's why the Margherita pizza is named Margherita Pizza. We were sitting here taking a little break and drinking something, and Zach was like, why didn't we see the Circus Maximus while we were here? It's literally right behind us. That's what happens when you're in Rome. You just run into things and you don't even know what they are. And that wraps up our weekend in Rome. If you liked this video, you can watch my previous video when we were in Paris for the weekend, or you can hit subscribe to see all of my other study abroad content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.